the amazing work that you or showcase all the amazing work that we've been able to look at for the past few days. We're going to start off today with a bit of a reminder, and then we're going to go straight on to the quiz and the answers and some winners. We're going to answer some of your questions that you've sent to us. What else are we going to do? We're going to have loads of slides showing everything that we've trolled through social media looking for of all the work that you've done, as well as the things that you've sent us. And that's pretty much it for the next 30 minutes. So get comfortable. I'm hoping you're going to have a lovely time. Just a special mention to, we've got Kat joining us on the chat. Okay, so Kat, if you remember from Monday's lesson, Kat is joining us from Canada. And for those of you who've been to the live lessons before, Kat usually does the assemblies. But because she's in Canada, I think it's about 3:30 in the morning there. And if she was doing it, she'd probably wake up some of her family, which is why I've stepped in and I'm going to try and do just even remotely as good a job as she usually does. And can we get a special virtual thank you to Andrea as well, who for the past half an hour has been clicking through those slides, playing that groovy music. So thank you, Andrea, for doing that. Okay, I'm going to share my slides now and we are going to kick off. That Friday feeling. Right. Okay, so like I said, hopefully everybody can see me, they can hear me, and they can see the slides. If you can't, let us know in the chat, and hopefully myself or Kat can catch the comment and we can do something about it. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start off with a bit of a can you remember? Okay, some questions from Monday's live lessons. So let's crack on. So first question, so teachers on your keyboard standing by, how much of the water available on our planet is fresh water? So if we could do that as a percentage, that would be great. So what percentage of the water on our planet do you think is fresh water? Remember, that's not including seawater. Mrs. Fitzpatrick, straight in there. Mrs. Young, oh my goodness, what memories you have. Wow. Everyone's coming in straight away. Oh, absolutely smashed it, I think everyone. You're absolutely right, 3%. Now, if we take a look at that percentage even more, we've got a couple graphs, which I'm just, or not a couple graphs, a couple of diagrams, which I'm just going to show you of just what that 3% actually means. And I know Joe spoke about this on Monday, but again, this is just a bit of a reminder to see how much you've remembered in those 4 or 5 days that we've not seen you. Okay, so out of all of that, there's about 71% on the planet which is seawater, so it's not fresh water. But fresh water is about 2.5% of it is completely locked up, okay, in either ice in the North or South Pole, or the South Pole actually primarily, or underground. But the actual amount of that water on our planet, which is readily available that we can access, via lochs, rivers, lakes, that sort of stuff, is only 1%. Okay, so it's a tiny, tiny amount. And that's pretty much what we need to make all the stuff that we buy. Okay, so it's just a good thing to remember. It's not very much in the grand scheme of all the water that we have on our planet. Okay, next one. Can you remember, apart from the water that we use directly, so we're talking about when you talk about direct water use, we're talking about drinking, cooking, washing, that sort of stuff. But what's the name of the water we use to produce our goods? Because we don't use that directly. That's what's used to make the things that we buy. So we're talking about that big sort of water drop underneath. Can anyone remember the name? So we've got direct water use for the things that we actually use water for, but then we've got sort of secondary uses because it is all part of the things that we buy. Oh, look at that. We're right in there as well. Everyone coming out. Well done. Well done, everyone. Answers coming in thick and fast. So you're both right in terms of indirect or virtual water use. So remember, like I said, and this is what Joe spoke a lot about again on Monday, the things that we use to produce our food, to produce our clothes, to get our fuel. You know, remember the one that hit home to me loads when Joe was talking about to make a bottle of water, you need to have, or to make a liter of water, you need to have 3 liters of water, and I think it was a quarter liter of oil as well, which is just crazy, absolutely crazy. God, you're all awake. A very good comment, Kat. Everyone seems very awake this morning. Probably more awake than me. Okay, next one. Can you remember how much water is needed to make a single sheet of new paper? This will test you. And it'll be nice to see as well from people if you did Joe's activity of making recycled paper as well. You might have some first-hand experience of this potentially. So how many liters? 10. Oh my goodness. 10 liters we're getting in. We've got 70 liters from Mrs. Andrews. I'm glad it's not 70 liters, Mrs. Andrews. Um, but everybody else seems to be saying 10 liters, and you're absolutely right. So 10 full liters of fresh water go into making a piece of A4 sized paper, which is so frequently. Think about how much paper that you're going to use today or that you've used just this week, and then it immediately goes in the bin, maybe even sometimes 5 minutes later after you use it for whatever reason. So it's really, really important that we start thinking about our consumption, okay? Because we can't just be wasting 10 liters of water for no good reason, okay? And that goes for almost anything. Because what happens when we do? Well, unfortunately, this is the sort of behind the scenes pictures that you and myself and others like us never see. Okay. When it comes to making any products, all that indirect water has wastewater. Okay. And all that wastewater has to go somewhere. And depending on what country you're in, it can be a very unfortunate end to some of that water. So not only is that extremely unhealthy for us, for cities, for the environment, for biological life, you know, whether it's plants or animals, whatever, you know, it's just not great. So we really need to think about how we consume, what we consume, and how much of it, and where it comes from. Okay. This is another example of what might happen if we keep going down this road. This is an example of this is what this place used to be called the Aral Sea. Okay, and this is in Central Asia, and it used to be the world's fourth largest lake. Now, just to put that into context, okay, by the fourth largest lake in the world, that means all of our lochs in Scotland, all of our rivers, if you combine them all together, that still wouldn't be enough to fill this sea, or it wouldn't used to be enough. And over the course of the past, you know, years and years, this is what's happened. And the reason it's happened is because the people of the country and the governments and things like that decided to use the water to irrigate their farmlands to produce cotton. And again, if we think back to what Joe was talking about on Monday, what is cotton used for? Pretty much most of our clothes now. Okay, so that's what happens. And because of climate change and things like that, essentially we were taking all the water out of it and the rain wasn't enough to replace it. So we've got this huge desert now in its place, and that's what it looks like on the right hand side of your picture. And again, not just thinking about that, but we're thinking about the ecological impact as well of the poor animals and things like that. Joe's just saying on the chat there, it only took 60 years to drain that entire lake, okay? Which is not a lot of time at all when you think about the size of it. Imagine all of our lochs and rivers gone in Scotland in 60 years if we did the same. Okay, so we need to learn from our mistakes and do a bit better. But there is hope because we can make a huge difference. And we, as people, and you especially as young people, are the big difference because you're going to be here a lot longer than me. So you have the power to really make some great choices and some changes to this planet. So we can be wiser in how we use water at home and school. These are just simple things that we can do that would actually make a really big difference. Okay. So for example, one of the simplest things you can do is you could choose having an apple instead of a packet of crisps for snack once a week. And that would save 110 liters of water. Okay, that is a huge amount. Think about what, again, Joe was talking about on Monday. How many litres does it take to fill a bath? About 170, 180 litres. Okay, so over half a bath's full just by choosing an apple instead of a packet of crisps. It's crazy. That's so much savings in water. And imagine if everyone in your class did it. Imagine if everyone in your school did it. And imagine all your families did it. We would save a huge amount of water very, 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 very quickly. Okay, so absolutely, together we can absolutely smash this and we can make this world a much better place and reduce our water footprints significantly. Okay, let's get on to some actual quiz questions and answers because I know you're all desperate to find out. So, from the quiz questions, for those of you who done them, let's have a look. Question one, what other name do flapper skate egg cases have? Duh, 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 duh. Mermaid's purse. I'm just going to shoot through these because you've already sent your answers, so well done if you got that right. Question two, can you name at least 3 mythological water creatures that we learned about today, aka on Monday? Oh, I'm seeing lots of answers coming in, but I'll just read them out as well. Congratulations if you've got any of these. We've got Mermaid of the Clyde. That I think that one was my favorite. We've got Selkies. We've got Loch Ness Monster. We've got Kelpies. We've got Blue Men of Minch. We've got the Stoorworm. In fact, I think the Stoorworm was my favorite because that created the Orkneys, which I loved the most. Question 3. What else have we got? Can you mention 3 ways in which we can conserve water or reduce our water footprint? So the answer is so many. For example, by closing taps while brushing teeth, collecting rainwater for using in the garden, taking shorter showers, using a watering can instead of a hose, rinsing fruits and vegetables in a bowl rather than under a running tap, and loads more. This would be a wonderful activity for maybe you to try in class. Can you think of any other ways apart from this? So these are just some of the ones that we've thought of. But like the answer says, there are so many more. Okay, and now to the answer that we've all been waiting for. So the winner of the quiz of the virtual tour at either the Edinburgh Zoo or the Highland Wildlife Park is. Can we get a virtual drum roll, please? Maybe we can do that thing that Alison did for the thunder and the rain, but just hitting on our legs. So drum roll in class. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? Bears Den Primary 5, Miss Beattie, congratulations. Well done. Excellent work. You got all the answers right and you were picked out. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Where's my reaction button? I'm doing an applause. There we go. You can do virtual reactions, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, moving on. Congratulations again, Bears Den. Great work. And well done to everyone who entered. Your answers were fantastic. Moving on. Okay, so this was probably one of my favorite parts of this week, was reading through your questions and getting the answers from our various speakers, which were so fun. So again, we've got quite a few slides for this, so I'm going to try and go as quick as possible. So here we go. Do penguins eat anything other than fish? Great question. Answer, at the zoo, the penguin's diet is entirely fish-like, whiting and sprat. Ooh, they might also eat krill and squid in the wild, and what they prefer to eat can vary from different types of penguins. Ooh. How deep in the oceans do flapper skates live? Good question. I didn't even know what a flapper skate was until Monday. Flapper skates can be found as deep as 200 meters, wow, in the ocean. Why do penguin parents need to feed the babies from their mouths? Great question again. Penguins don't make milk like mammals, so like us, so they need to give their babies other food. By swallowing it before they feed it to their chicks, they give it time to digest a little, so it's easier for the chick to eat. It is also easier for the parent to carry food back to the nest by swallowing it. They don't have hands to carry things like us. And then they can feed it to their chicks by regurgitating it at the nest. Oh, lovely, lovely. I'm glad I've had my breakfast already. Do flapper skates eat people? Oh, I hope not. Flapper skates don't eat people, phew. Their diet is made up of prawns, fish, and smaller skates. If you search up a photo of them, you'll see that their mouths are not very big, and even though their bodies are huge, their mouths couldn't try to eat a human. That's good to know. We're safe. How many types of penguins are there? Oh, another good question. At the moment, it's thought there are 18 different types of penguins, but just like with the skates, it is possible to discover even now that there are more different types. Some researchers are debating that there are 20 different types. That's crazy. I can't believe they're still discovering more penguins. That's fantastic. Are there male and female flapper skates? Yes, you can tell them apart from their tails. Females just have the tail. Males have the tail with two extra long fins called claspers next to the tail, which are used in mating. Oh, lovely. Claspers. Can penguins have allergies? Ooh, I like that question. Absolutely. It's possible for birds to have allergies. Lots of animals can have allergies. Again, I didn't know that. Why do penguins waddle? Excellent question. The questions we need to know the answers for. Penguins waddle because they have extremely short legs compared to the length of their bodies. And in fact, their legs are always bent. If you tried walking with bent legs, you might waddle too. I recommend searching online for pictures of penguin skeletons. It's interesting to see. I guarantee most of you now will go into the playground on your break and practice walking without bending your knee. Ha, because I'm going to do it as well, to be honest. Next one. Are penguins blind when they are born? They are blind when they first hatch, but will be able to see in about a week's time. Very cool. How much do baby penguins weigh when they are born? The largest type of penguin, the emperor penguin, will weigh about 300 grams when first hatched. The smallest type of penguin, the little blue penguin, can weigh less than 40 grams when first hatched. So that's a huge difference. How do you know when a flapper skate has hatched out of the egg cases? If you find a case that has a hole ripped in it, that is a sign that the skate has hatched out. Usually, if they have washed up on a beach, they will be egg cases that have already hatched and then dried out on the beach and will feel quite crunchy. If you find one on the beach that you think might not have hatched, take a photo of it, then put it back in the sea, preferably near some seaweed where it will get tangled up and stay safe until it hatches. That's a really good question of what we can do to help the flapper skates in the future. How will you choose the names of baby penguins? Really good question. Usually, the keeper who finds the penguin chick gets to name them, and there can be lots of different reasons they get their names. Sometimes it's based on funny stories from when they were small, or sometimes from TV shows or books that are popular at the time. And sometimes they just suit a certain name. Oh, that's great. Okay, moving on to the folk story winners of a copy of Dancing with Trees from Alison Galbraith, our storyteller from Monday. Oh, who's this going to be? Okay, again, so let's do, in honor of Alison, because she's not here, remember, let's do our thunder on our legs for a virtual drum roll. And the winner is. We've got 5 winners. So all 5 schools who submitted their stories and creatures are going to get copies of the book because Alison increased the amount because she was so impressed by everyone who did it. So Central School from Aberdeenshire, Kingsland Primary School from Peebles, Our Lady and St Joseph's Primary School from Glenboig, St John the Baptist Primary School, St Anne's Primary School from Erskine. Well done, everyone. Where's my reaction button? I can't find it fast enough. There we go. Clap, clap, clap. Well done, everyone. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, great work. Congratulations. And what we're going to do now is, oh, I've stopped sharing my screen. Sorry, 1 second. What we're going to do now is we're going to, for the next few slides, oh, I've lost everything. Here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at everybody's entries. I know Andrea has been showing a lot of submissions this morning on things, but we're going to see a lot more. And I'm just going to put this out there because this happened at the last assembly. I'm going to be dancing on screen. Okay, so I would speak to your teachers if you can dance at your desks, because just like with the introduction music, it's pretty funky and, you know, I'm a bit of a foot tapper and I'm a bit of a head shaker, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Just an FYI. Okay. So let's have a look and see everybody's fantastic work that they have been able to send us. Oh, sorry, I forgot to talk about this first. So this was amazing as well. This is from Insture Primary 5. This was so good. It was a recording of them when Alison was telling her workshop. So I can play that first. I'm going to play that again because I loved it so much. Well done for getting in the spirit of it. And I know probably everybody else was exactly the same when they were doing it as well. Right. That's enough from me. Let's get back to your amazing photos of flapper skates, posters, stories, and all the amazing work that you sent us and shared on social media. Well done. think I'm all danced out. Might have to give up teaching and just become a professional dancer, I think, when this is over. Oh, these were so good, folks. Thank you so much. It was absolutely fantastic. A special thank you to all the teachers who engaged with us, helping pupils do their amazing work. So please, everybody, give your teachers a round of applause for signing up to this, and hopefully they can join the next one as well with all of you there. Such good inspirations. Kat has just mentioned as well that where is it? So all the stories will have sent in our website, so everyone can read about them as well later. Um, Thank you as well to our partners for supporting our live lesson, to Jess, to Alison, to Joe for being great speakers. A huge thank you to Kat, who's calling in at 3:30 twice a week so she can be a part of this. To Andrea and our colleague Libby for setting all this up and having the amazing idea of doing these live lessons. It was so much fun, and thank you so, so much, everyone, for coming along. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday. I know I will. I think I'm going to be dancing into meetings and all that sort of stuff after this. But have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. And we hope to see you at the next live lesson. Bye bye, everyone.
And thank you, Jamie. Thanks for
Thank you.
joining us and for being such a good colleague. You're the best.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.